Hey everyone, welcome to Buick Outdoors. If you're new around here, my name is Sheldon Marion, and yesterday we spent the day out here with the Paleontologist from the Royal BC Museum, and we made up a couple of videos. One was checking out the Dinosaur trackway site that I found, and they 100% confirmed it. If you want to check out that video, there'll be a link in the description below. And then we also came up to another Dinosaur trackway site, and they started doing some field work. And with that, we helped them expose some new tracks. We did a plaster on one of them, and if you guys want to check out that video, there'll also be a link in the description below for that as well. And now today we're going to continue on, and it's going to be day 2 of helping them out with all their new field work. But anyways, guys, we're going to hike up to this trackway site and give them a hand. Alright, so we made it back out here to the dinosaur track, and over here is where we kind of left off yesterday. We pulled off some of this dirt, and now they're starting to peel away some of the rocks. And so far doesn't look like you really found overly too much yet, eh?
No, we're just above the track layer, so we just wanted to make sure that when we were digging this rock layer off that there wasn't any tracks visible on this surface, because this rock surface is right above where you can see that three-toed print right there.
Okay.
But we just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything that was transmitted up to this other rock layer, so we're just carefully peeling it back. But then once we've taken this down to that level, then we'll probably peel that last layer off, and then we'll actually be at the track layer. We just wanted to be sure we're not going to damage anything when we peel off the rock.
Awesome. Alrighty, so they're busy doing that, and I'll probably help them out with that here in just a little bit. Over here is where they're doing a bunch of the mapping. You can see all the letters and stuff. So they're doing it by 1 meter grids and drawing it all out. That way they can make a real detailed picture. Then they're going to be doing the same thing over on this side today. The first thing they gotta do is sweep out all these tracks before they get to it. And then now they're doing the same thing as yesterday. How they're measuring everything out by 1 meters. They take that screen, they put it onto each one, and then they're able to hand draw it onto all their mapping. So today we'll probably help out, probably on both sides. We'll help them sweep out some of these tracks so you can get more detailed. And then we'll head over here and we'll help these guys pull some of the rock layers off as well. So that all being said, I think I'm gonna get to work and help out where they need it. So what he's
lift up this big block here.
Yeah, so what he's doing here is he's just methodically going between those cracks to kind of take off each layer by layer, so in that way they don't potentially damage any tracks that are underneath that. And as he cracks it open, we'll see not a whole lot there, hey?
Nope.
So what they're trying to do is slowly get down to this track here, or that layer, and you gotta go step by step and go real slow, because there's a potential of, within each layer, a new set of tracks. So it's a slow process, as you can see, but slowly coming along. And there's one of the kind of things, like this is kind of smooth, where this is kind of more rigidy kind of a thing.
Yeah, as far as we can tell, there's not really any like sub layers through this upper mud. We've been sort of looking, like it has like these natural cracks forming, but it's really jagged and uneven, so it's not, we don't think that's really a natural bedding plane necessarily. So yeah, so it can't really be a track layer if it's not like a natural layer that was exposed at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, is there any cracks forming in that at all? There's that one there.
Only from the chisel, because it's kind of
So to get this whole thing out, we're gonna have to get this one out first, and then I think we might have to clean up back here a little bit just to sort of see where the next joint's gonna be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at least this way it actually naturally pulls.
Yeah, no, and the where the track layer is should be a natural braking surface. So you don't always get lucky. Sometimes you get break. With tracks, it's usually pretty good. But if there was like a bone, sometimes, you know, you're just as likely to crack through a bone as to crack around it. But with this,
and bones I've come across in Drumheller, they're all completely, well, I shouldn't say completely, they're fragmented and they're separated by frost action.
Yes.
But you still see the whole bone.
Yeah.
But there's just maybe 2 to 3 millimeters of gunk in between each crack.
Yep, that's very common. I mean, field notes are good. You know, we always write down every day, you know, where we went and what we saw, and, you know, all of that. And, you know, we record the GPS coordinates as well. So if we need to, you know, look back where it's like, you know, what did I collect that day? What did I see? You know, it's right there.
Yeah.
And that's always been an important part of the science as well. But, you know, GPS is huge, because now you can just literally go right to the meter, and you're like, okay, it's somewhere around here, plus or minus 5 meters, you know?
Well, even for me around here, what I'm wanting to start doing is get like one of those Macalina maps, and every time I find like fossils and stuff like that, I want to put like a little pin, and like kind of like color coordinate it or whatever.
And it might point towards new sites.
Yeah, so I'll find a bunch of clamshells, it'll be a black pin. If it's leaves, a little brown pin, and then that way you can actually kind of see naturally the way everything's been going and stuff.
Yeah, so we do something almost exactly the same, except we keep everything, all those, usually in a spreadsheet on the computer now.
Yeah, I'll be pretty old school. It'll be a map on my wall.
That's cool. That's cool. That area is pretty neat, because where you get the leaves, and I saw the one block that you found with like the log or whatever. I mean, there's no reason why there couldn't be dinosaurs in there.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, not in the leaf bed. It'd be very unlikely. I mean, not impossible.
Yeah.
That you'd have them associated, but oh, that's a grasshopper. But you know, the preservation should be the same. Like, it's the same process that preserves the leaves and the wood and all that. It's just a quick burial. It's a terrestrial environment because there's plants there. So, all right. So how's it look on that end?
Well, it's up.
Oh, it's up?
Yeah.
So do you want me to come in on the side here?
I think we can use this one here as a wedge.
Yep. So if I get in right here, maybe? Like, because we're probably not going to get the whole slab. It's probably going to crack, right?
Well, it's already cracked here.
Oh, it's already cracked there? Yeah, okay. We'll see what it's doing then.
I think you're going to get this piece, but that's okay.
We'll figure it out.
That's why we check. Here is part of that surface, and it's quite, like, it undulates quite a bit. See, this is that same surface as there.
Yeah, you can see it kind of goes under this.
Yeah, this is probably a print here.
Oh, okay.
I think.
You can see how it's dipping down in there.
I might have to take it out in chunks too, if that's what it wants to do. Yeah, as soon as you get to your back wall, it becomes so easy at the front, and once you get into the back corner, then the physics just isn't on your side.
That's pretty loose.
Yeah, that's ready to go, I think, almost.
There we go.
See, and that looks way thicker than back here, so we just want to be careful that it's not getting down to the track layer.
Yes, good point.
I mean, it's not a consistent thickness either, so it's also possible that we're still fine. But
yeah, you can see that whole slab picking up now, tracking under your foot. Yeah, you kind of got two major tracks forming, and then this big one here.
Oh, you can just pick that up then. Double check. It's okay.
Doesn't look like anything.
As far as I can tell. Yeah, I mean, if it's jumping, it's fine, because like I said, I don't think we're sitting on tracks. So, but yeah. Oh, there we go.
I don't think we're deep enough.
Yeah, I think we're still above the track.
Something there.
Oh,
Is it?
Maybe.
yeah, it might be a
That's,
tool right there.
that's your tools. Well, maybe.
Could be tool related.
Looks slippery to me.
Does it? Well, we should flip up the whole
Yeah,
piece.
let's lay it. Maybe even just lay it here,
Yeah, that looks like.
Because it was...
upside down. So it was like that.
Yeah, it was like that. So if we just flip it like a book, basically, and open it up.
So I think there is going to be a heel on that other block.
Yeah, kind of right where it's blue, there's a little indent, eh?
Possibly. Well, the blue is the rub off of the...
Oh, I would say on the
oh,
one
on
that,
that one right there.
No, on the one that's closer to John's left foot.
Because that's
Okay.
going to be
What
in
happens
that
if you look-
position right there.
What happens if you look at that one?
It's loose.
So I'm just a sec.
Yep,
Okay, so
that's
this
right
is
there.
just 100%.
Yeah, and then so we'll flip
Just a
that up.
180
there was a-
rotation.
Yeah, and then we might as well pick up that third one just to do the same thing.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay. So then
So there looked like maybe something, but that's
Not
right.
as
That's down
clear.
here.
yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
At least we got almost a proper layer there now.
Yeah.
Brush out that bottom layer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that will be the next step.
Cool. Interesting.
Because I think we're still sitting about. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on here. That could be something,
Yes.
but yeah. Figure it out. I'm not certain. Because it's just, there's like a
There's
line.
almost like a 2 millimeter layer right above that, eh?
Yeah.
This whole.
What do you think, T?
This whole layer is just all fractured up. With
Yeah, because you can see this, but then there's like this little bit right there kind of on top of that, eh?
We might be at this layer over here. It's a little bit hard to reconcile. We might just
I don't
still
think
be
we
just a
are.
touch above it. Like I think that was sort of our assumption that we were still above it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. The thickness of the blocks that we're breaking off is so inconsistent. I wonder if we might accidentally run into it and then not.
But I'm looking at the dip
Figure it out right
as
away.
well, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we're still above.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think you're still. I think we're in that same kind of zone.
So it's
Yeah,
the
you
same.
almost had to take off
So
this
yeah,
little
it's
bit,
just that
eh?
layer, and we peel that off all the way across. What do you think this is,
Zone
Teague?
there.
Because, well, that lines up with this.
Yeah, it's just sort of a weird bulge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
This is a track here. We figured.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the infill still inside of it.
That is. That's weird.
No? Why is it weird?
Well, it's weird because it would be overlapping with the other print, and I don't see any sort of line where it should be overlapping with the other print.
Hmm.
So I think that might just be a cutout caused by other footprints that are now gone.
Oh, maybe.
Because, like, we know that this is a toe
Mm.
Yeah.
of a different animal.
Yeah.
So I think that might just be, like, maybe a heel that is no longer there.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know what that big thing is. It could be one of those, like, fallen pillows that Roy was talking about.
Oh, yeah, when like next to a print, like pushing it up kind of
Yeah.
as the mud needs somewhere to go, and it
Yeah.
sort of makes that pillow.
So it could maybe be that.
Do you ever see kind
but I
of
don't know.
clasps where maybe mud sticks to a foot, so to speak, and then falls off somewhere else?
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know.
Not that I know of, but
Okay.
I've never really looked into it, so...
I don't know how you would recognize that for
Yeah.
sure in the fossil record.
Well, one way you could is if, well, you'd have to see it in section.
Yeah.
It would either have to be flipped over, and then your strata would be identical but upside down.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah,
It would
it'd
almost
have
look
to
like
be
it would almost look like a rip-up clast or something,
kind of,
basically.
yeah. I think it'd be really hard to find.
Right there.
Goes right there.
Yes, we'll have to shift it a little bit.
It's okay, less
Yeah, and then if those divots are anything, it would be visible. Yeah, I'm not sure that's actually anything. Like it might be, there might be a footprint under there and that might be like infill,
Yeah.
but it's too irregular. I'm not sure that we can really say
Yeah.
until we lift it up.
Well, maybe while you guys are taking a break, I can scrape this stuff away and.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if you want to.
Sure, yeah, I can do that for you guys.
Totally. That'd be great.
Put me to work other than sitting
Okay.
here and
Yeah,
just watching.
Yeah. Here, go ahead and use my pick and you can loosen it up and
Alrighty,
everything else is there.
okay,
You want a knee pad? There's one here.
sounds good.
That'd be awesome.
Alrighty, well, time for me to get back to work.
I usually say if it's like nice,
So basically what I'm doing here, we have to be careful when we're pulling these roots out, because if the roots are actually connected to the rock, you can actually potentially pull the rock up. I'm basically taking this chisel and just removing some of this overburden. You can hear it right there, you can hear it kind of same noise here. So I know right here I'm onto that rock layer. So I'm basically just pulling this dirt back, this loose rock. A lot of times I look underneath this loose rock because that's how I found those fossilized seeds there yesterday. And so any big rocks like this, I pick them up, I look them over. If there's nothing on there, toss them into my pile, and then I basically just grab this, all this loose dirt by hand, pick it up, put it over there into our pile, and then just repeat the process. And once I get the majority of this topsoil down, I grab one of these brushes and we start sweeping it up. A little bit easier than using our hands. Usually got one hand holding the dustpan, one sweeping it in. But as you can see, as we're going along, we're exposing some of this rock, and you gotta be careful because, like they say, with each layer there's a potential new track there. So you don't want to go in with this and really hit it. You just want to use it as kind of like a scraper. You want to be as delicate as possible, that way you're not breaking up potential tracks into segments. They kind of want full tracks, and if you do break them, there is ways that they can kind of piece it together and glue it up, plaster it. But if they don't have to do that process, it's a little easier on them. Anyways, I got a little bit of work here to do, so I'm going to get back to it and start loosening up some more of this dirt and see if we can get down to this base layer. So as I'm digging this stuff away, you can see how we got rid of all this stuff that was kind of piled up here. We get down to this base rock. Now you still got some of this stuff here, and we're able to take our hammer and actually scrape that away, because that's just kind of loose overburden stuff and root systems. You just want to be careful. If you see loose stuff like this, I don't know if I'm doing it the right way, but I pick it up, look underneath, make sure there's nothing there, and because this is just a small little chunk, I'm able to take that, toss it over there, and then we can continue on and just kind of scrape this stuff away. And once this is nice and loose, we can grab a little brush, scrape it up. And then when you see little indents like this, you gotta be kind of careful, because you don't really know what kind of dinosaur tracks are in here. So what I'm touching right here actually could be another dinosaur track, because you can see potentially a toe there, potentially a toe there, And then right here there might be one coming out that way, but that's for the paleontologist to determine, and for me not to break and screw up. So with that being said, we just gotta take our time, be real careful. I think this slab here will probably be able to get picked up, so I'm just taking my time around the edges so I don't loosen anything up too bad. And we just slowly, methodically clean this all out, scoop it away, get rid of the ants, and just essentially clean this all up. So in that way we can get down to the actual rock system, and the paleontologist can take over and let us know what we find. So something like this, how it kind of divots in here.
Yeah, I know, I was looking at that.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I wanted to push that corner back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I might be half right then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Teague will probably give us a hand on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to be careful around this rock and this one, because it looks like I might, if I chip that, it might come out, but
Probably would. It's probably loose, but
yeah, because it seems like once I pull off like some of this root system, it kind of loosens up even more. So yeah, trying to be careful anyways for you guys.
for sure. No, appreciate that.
Yeah, try not to break anything.
That's looking good.
Yeah,
We're
right
just
on.
gonna head down for lunch.
Okay, sounds good. I'll be up here working away.
Okay, cool.
Alright, man. Okay, so essentially what I've been doing here now, they wanted it all kind of cleared out to here where this base rock is. So now you can see it's nice and clean over here. Right here there's overburden about, you can't really see it with the shade, but it was probably about 4 inches high or so. So I just kind of methodically scraped it all out with the chisel, grabbed it, kind of threw it into our piles here and over there, and we got it all nice and cleaned up here now. So in that way they can continue to remove those slabs, and they're slowly going to make their way over here. And because right there's a footprint, trying to see it there, yeah, right there's a footprint, so there could potentially be another one right in here underneath, so you can see kind of these different layers of everything. So this one here might be the same layer that track is in. So now what they're going to do, they'll come back and they'll slowly, methodically peel some of that top stuff off and see if they can expose another track. But in the meantime, I think their main focus is that side over there. So yeah, they'll be slowly pulling everything back. Everybody just kind of went to the trucks right now for their lunch, and I just stayed back here, keep an eye on the dogs and to keep working at this. And then while I was at it too, I think I found another small portion of those seeds. This one is not quite as defined, and you might not even be able to see it on the camera here, but right above my thumb you can just barely see those faint lines in that little piece. So it's not quite as defined as the ones that I found yesterday, but it is very substantial for them to kind of get an idea of what was actually here at the time of the dinosaurs. So I'm gonna hold on to this little piece and I'm gonna show them and see what they have to say. And for now, I think I'm just gonna go hang out in the shade, get some water, and hang out with the dogs here and cool off a little bit. We're in the plus 30s today, so yeah, pretty hot for you guys in United States, and go off Fahrenheit, it's about 90 some odd degrees kind of a thing. And for us up here in Canada, it's that means it's hot. We're used to like 20-25 degrees up here, and being that we're into like the mid 30s, you get pretty warm. So I'm gonna take a little break here in the shade, drink some water, and pretty well just wait for those guys to come back from their lunch break, and then we'll get right back into the sun and get back to work. Well, everybody else, they went down to the trucks to have their lunch break, and no sense packing on lunch. We just come over here to the old raspberry patch You just pick your own. Yes. Got a whole pile of raspberries out here. I think while I'm waiting for everybody to come back from eating their lunch, I'm gonna sit here, pick some raspberries. Get some sugar in me, and wait for everybody to come back. So they had to walk down to the truck to get their lunch. I walk about 50 feet, and I got mine. Woods prevail again.
So we want to attack this next slab?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And then once we've got that out, then that should be a big enough area. Then we'll take the
Agreed.
rest of this back.
Sounds good to me.
Sheldon did a good job cleaning this up, and I'm just trying to follow the surface, and I wonder how much of this is the layer.
Yeah, it almost looks like it comes here,
This is this, I would say.
and then possibly
Maybe.
But
right
this
there.
is smooth too, so
Yeah.
because this is rough like this up here, but yeah, I'm not sure. It's interesting, but we'll definitely
But
Wait.
this little thing here looks like a depression that's infilled, so
could be.
might.
Once we finish over there, the first thing that's coming off is going to be this triangle here, and then we'll work it back.
And we were wondering if this was something, but now it just looks like
Yeah,
just
there
the
was
break
that
in
one,
the rock.
and then right in here too.
I think those are just
But-
cracks as far as I can tell, because
Yeah.
there's no real, I mean, I guess it gets a little flat right there, so it could be, but I don't know.
Maybe we should just get Teague over and just say, hey, what do you think?
Yeah. Teague, is this anything?
Teague, we got a quick question for you.
Alright, what am I checking
Just
out?
wondering what your thoughts are on this. We may have asked you already, but we've kind of uncovered more of this area to,
Just cleaned it out.
it's just, looks suspicious, but we don't think it's much, but
Because probably what we'll do is, once we get this top layer off, we'll probably start in this area, and then we'll just peel off like this triangle and work our way back, but
If you look at it from this side with the shade too, it kind of looks like here and
that just
here.
looks like a crack to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm also not sure. It does look suspiciously like a footprint, but it's also entirely possible that that's just the mud cracking. Don't know.
I mean, I guess we'll find out if we flip it over and there's a footprint underneath.
Yeah, I mean the plan is to pull that back anyway, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so that'll be, we'll just be very
We'll find
careful
out
as
in
we
a
lift
bit.
that up, and if there's a
Yeah.
footprint underneath, then I guess we'll know
Well, I
the
mean,
answer.
it 100% is not coming up in one piece.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but we can
Yeah,
still-
there's so many
we can
cracks.
still be careful.
given.
It's coming
You
up in about like 20.
10-4 on that.
That's fair. Corner, and then
So the
you
work is
wanna
going to
start at the
continue
front.
here. They're just making up a game plan on how they're going to be chiseling this out to try to lift it up in one continuous sheet. That way there's not a bunch of partial slabs coming off. So yeah, they got their chisels all in hand and their hammers and stuff. So now they're just trying to come up with a game plan and get down to that base layer to see if there's any more tracks underneath that. Trying to get down
I
this layer where this track
Start
is.
in here and
Yeah.
see if there's a crack there, and yeah, if it, yeah, see what it does, and if we have to take it off in a few different layers, that's fine.
Oops.
Yeah, that whole layer right
Okay,
there.
that's good because
Yeah.
this wasn't the same break plane as this, so now it's getting back into that, which is okay.
Okay. I might just leave this because I think that, like,
Okay,
there,
I heard a crack.
oh yeah, right here.
Yeah, right by your foot.
Oh yeah.
So that's one giant slab. That's kind of getting
That's
ready
a
to
little
go.
bigger than I was thinking.
One giant slab for paleo kind.
Very good.
There's not enough.
There's not enough. Oh yeah, look at how that's.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So the whole thing is loose. It's just a question of
How
actually.
far back? Right to that big crack. Okay, let's just keep doing this. There we go.
Oh yeah, jeez. Okay, watch your fingers. Yeah.
Well, here's the moment of truth, hey?
Yeah. It's nice to
So
actually have that
let's
on
just
video.
flip that right over there. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. All right. Well, there we go. That was quick.
Nice little plant there, but
Yeah.
not much else that looks. That's kind of what I was hoping for in a way.
That's interesting. Yeah. So we there was
Three scratches.
we're not much
Nothing.
for plant thing
No.
or plant IDs, but when we've been identifying things that look like that just look like short pieces of petrified wood.
Yeah.
Roy, the geologist that was out last year, said that I forget what he called them, but he said that they are actually some sort of like fibrous seed pod
Really?
that looks like that. Yeah, that it looks like it just a little section of bark almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what he had called them, but yeah, we think that they're seed pods now is what we've been
Interesting.
calling them.
Well, what's crazy, I found stuff like that, like all over the place, just like right up the road.
Well, like I said, it looks very much like, you know, an impression of wood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if there was a bit of wood in there, you know, pressed into the mud, that's what it would basically look like, because all the original material's gone, probably coalified, and then all you'd be left with is the impression in the rock.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently there are also some seed pods that look very similar to that.
That's interesting to know.
Yeah. Because yeah, we were never getting really all that many long pieces, except for that really big log. You saw the log over here. It's basically right there. It's coalified, but it's
Yeah,
mud
that
over
piece, yeah, like about 20 feet away
there.
there.
Yeah, exactly. It's that straight piece there. Yeah. So there is definitely wood in the mud as well.
Yeah, and where that piece would have came from is somewhere's kind of in this area.
Yeah.
So I wonder.
That's interesting. It doesn't look like.
I think it's right in that
pieces
broken
of-
area where those chips
right
are,
here.
somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
it'd be-
this, yeah, this corner would have been right in here.
Yeah, like, would it be this, maybe?
I thought this is what broke out of here. Maybe not.
Regardless, it's not
Yeah.
a footprint, so
Mm-hmm.
we're okay. That's a good natural end to the quarry there, so we'll
Agreed.
clear this out and then we'll go down. So,
Yes.
Cool.
I like it.
yes.
All right, so now that we've exposed this stuff over here, we got this big slab done up. They're gonna start working onto this next layer here, he was saying. So we're trying to get down back to this base layer to see if there's any more cracks under there. So I'm just gonna get out of their way and let them do their work.
Yeah, it'll be the same idea, you know, we'll pop a piece, we'll look at it underneath, we'll sweep it out. See how it goes. Yeah, the more that we can sort of pry up like that, the better. Because then we're not, you know, directly prying on the
That's right.
track surface.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely more roots, huh?
Yeah, as I was going along, I was cutting them with my knife, so that way I wasn't
Yep.
pulling anything
That's,
up there.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's great. That's exactly what you want to do.
So that came right from there. Do you want to see if there's a cast on it?
Yeah, I mean, there's something. Well, maybe we'll pile those in a special pile.
Well, here, this is part of it.
So that's like possibly a partial of a toe kind of a thing.
Well, yeah, we're just sort of keeping an eye on it because anything we pull up from this layer that's like this far raised is
Yeah.
going to be down into,
Like anything obvious, right?
yeah, the footprint. Yeah, it's pretty obvious, you know, when everything else is so flat. So which side would that have been
He
on?
was in here. So this one,
Yeah.
was it like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. And then this was that.
Kind of like that.
So get that over. So then that means that toe was actually, oh, maybe it's this or something?
There's something, yeah, it's full of dirt.
Yep. No, that looks like a toe. That's probably our toe.
Hey, look at that.
So did we just find another print? Yeah, that's almost
Sure
certainly
looks
what
like
that
it.
is. Okay then. Well,
Not much of a cast that's there, I don't think. Pretty degraded.
well, but I think we've got toe, and then yeah, maybe it's
Yeah,
broken
off
over
there.
here, so we're missing the other. But yeah, we'll just sweep it out. Here, I'm gonna grab the bucket so you're not
Yeah, it definitely looks like a
sweeping our dirt all
three-toe
over
thing
the
here, eh?
place.
Yep, we can uncover more and be a little more conclusive. This is easy to come out here too, Derek.
So yeah, it's also at the edge of our spot, so
It
that
is.
we kind of want to. That's kind of probably as far as we.
Yeah.
This is pretty nifty as I was cleaning this stuff out. This is where I was taking some of that overburden off, and underneath what I was working on, potential another footprint. So that's pretty cool to be part of this.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying now.
Okay. So it's like, you know, it's been there perfectly content for millions of years, and it would continue being there for millions of years. And the moment that you're breaking the rock, you know, you begin the process of destroying the fossil.
Yes. And this is this little thing here is something I wanted to take out yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
there's
really
a pretty
thought-
good impression there.
I thought that this would be, and look at it.
yeah. So I wonder if that's part of this or
I'm
this
wondering.
one.
Because if it is,
Then it's 4
then
toes.
it's 4 toes.
Wow.
And then we get something for Teague after all.
I'm not certain about that. It could also be whatever's under
We
there.
need to uncover more.
Yeah, but that's totally the edge of the foot for sure, or the edge of something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you
So I
keep
wanna
that
leave-
little piece?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. We can put that
I'm
on
just
the.
going to put it right there.
Sure.
And then there's this crack back there right by your knee that's kind of lifting as well.
Is it?
There.
Let's just hope that that's where we want it to be.
Wow, it's really
That's
gone deep.
really deep.
Does it split that layer in half?
I don't think so. I think that's how deep the print is. It might be the edge of a bigger print.
Oh. Yeah, 'cause this
well,
goes right down into.
We'll
see,
just be careful.
That was right here.
Yeah.
What do we want to do? There's all roots in there, so it was loose.
Yeah. We'll just.
Yeah, because
gently
then as you're
sweep all that
pulling,
out.
this was coming up as well.
For sure.
Yeah, that was a lot deeper than I thought. But so
Yeah,
must be the edge of a big track.
I would think.
There you go. And we'll put that next.
I think it's here.
It was right here, somewhere along here, I thought. At some point, we're going to see toes.
There it
Oh.
is.
And a piece.
Yeah, that whole top slab kind of moved all the way back to the brush, eh?
Okay, so that's
Oh, yeah.
also the piece that we pulled up there.
Uh-huh.
So, do we have one of the small paintbrushes?
Not
These
here.
big guys.
I might have one in my bag, so I'll go 1 inch.
We've got a big pile. Would you maybe, Sheldon, just
Yeah.
run and grab us a
Yeah.
a
In
little
one of the
brush?
white pails.
So deep.
So you got that one, then you got the one that I brought.
Oh, super. Oh, that's a
Yeah, that's
fancy
a nice
little
one.
round brush. I don't want to mess up your brush.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Parts washing brush.
Yeah.
Good for that.
It works good.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, I was just going to try to
Yeah, we got some
loosen up
kind of
these
coaly material.
chunks here. It's just a thin, I don't even know it's a
I
coal. I
would
think it's
almost
just
suggest
a
leaving that
thin
on and we'll
mudstone.
just
You want
maybe
to just leave
break
it?
on top of it.
bit. Okay. I just trying to get a sense of
Yeah.
whether or not this ends right here. Like, if that's the tip of a claw? Is that the end of the toe? I mean, just kind of like to see.
This thing's sweet. Looks really good.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Maybe we should try out some parts cleaning brushes then. It's just we you know, so many things in paleo, you know, nothing's
really
designed for paleo.
Stiff bristles, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we just sort of make do with whatever works.
So from this angle, it almost looks like this is a toe, that's a toe, and then it might go out this way.
I'm not sure.
Or
Yeah.
is this a heel?
Well,
So
this,
the heel we haven't exposed the heel yet, but we've got the toe, and the heel should be back here somewhere. But then we've got this piece coming in here, and it curves.
it's not related to this.
So that leads me to think if it's curving like that, that should be the tip, and then it goes back to here. But then for whatever reason, yeah, because
Well, maybe this was a hard piece of sand, and maybe, but this doesn't look like it would be that kind of a footprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also possible that it could be like two footprints like on top of each other. Like if there was like a lighter footprint and then it was overprinted with like a heavier, or vice versa, I suppose. Maybe a heavier footprint and then a lighter footprint on top. Because if that's the case, like, I mean, we've got like footprint, like it's super dense. And then like we've got a couple more footprints up there. Like
definitely have them here too.
if that's the case, then the density of footprints on this layer is even greater
Yes.
than on the lower level.
Well,
That's the footprint layer, but if we get a chisel just on the side here and push it rather than pounding it out, like we want it to break. We don't necessarily want to force it out, because if we force, like if we just push this out, but it's like still stuck, it might pull some of the footprint with it. Like that's why we're going slow.
Footprint?
Like the footprint that it's sitting in.
Okay.
That's why we're going slow. We want it to pop out. We don't want it to pull any of the edge of the footprint with it. So that's why I think if we get just like a chisel,
like I'm seeing all of this.
as far as I can tell, this is all continuous.
Separate.
Yeah.
So if I do this, do you see it move along that edge?
Yeah. But I just don't want you to hit it here, just because I don't want to just pound this out. I want to break this rock.
Oh.
If we can.
That's gonna be a lot harder.
And we're just gonna try to not mark up the print as much as we can.
No, that's free.
That's okay. Well, there we go.
It's got a little lobe.
So we're gonna keep that.
And here, look, underneath. This rolls right over into a little.
We've got all of these pieces that we piled up here came from this hole here. So we can reconstruct things if we need to.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Just feel that. It rolls underneath this lip.
Huh.
It's an actual roll.
Yeah. So I bet this was a really wet mud and it stepped in, and then later when it was a little bit drier, something stepped here and it squished the mud into the print.
Oh, so that this one is it's like a layered footprint.
Yeah.
Huh. Neat.
I like it. That works.
Yeah. If that's the case, like it's very dense
is
right here. We haven't found the toes yet.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they should be right over here. So what do you think that bigger footprint is? Like, would that be like a, you think it's an ambidactylus, or do you think it's?
I don't know, honestly.
Something else?
I'd need like.
Yeah, we'll have to get the rest of it.
It's not really that big right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly looks like it should be from something big, but
I think this is weird because it's got a curve, but then it like lobes in, like you're saying, and yes, it looks like this other footprint is maybe like rolled on top of it, but
squished it over.
But it still looks like what we've exposed is kind of kidney bean shaped. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was also just thinking that, but that's really big for a manus of like the hadrosaurs and stuff.
I mean, we've got some big pest prints. I don't know.
I mean, their hands were like itty bitty though. Like,
yeah, and I mean, we're almost ready to lift this up because like the heel of that one should be under that slab right there. So we're almost there. And we kept running. This piece popped up and it's like, oh, that's a toe. And then that piece was still left, but the only way to break it was just to pop up the entire thing. And it's like, well, it looks like it's all one continuous bit, but that doesn't make any sense. I want to get this heel out. I want to see what the rest of this footprint looks like.
Me too. Can you get it out while preserving it so you can add it to the other cast?
Oh, I hadn't been considering that,
Get
but that's maybe a thought.
Get lower underneath it. Like
The thing
Like
is, I just don't want
here?
to. I just
In
don't want to
here?
scrape up the footprint layer. Yeah,
no, I know,
what you
I
mean.
know.
Yeah, you might have to take it apart a little piece by piece.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm trying to break it up from a little bit higher up, because if I can sort of just get a crack going, and then, like you say, we form like some nice big cracks, and then it kind of pops, and it wants to separate. Like you can see it bouncing, right? Like
Yeah,
as I hit
right
it,
around
you
here.
can see it wants to go. It's just that it's attached back here, so we just have to unattach it by, you know, hitting it until cracks form.
Just because you got a joint surface here.
Yeah. Oh, so
Come
you
in
think
at
if
the
we come
joint.
at the joint?
Yeah.
Give that a try. That is that friable layer, so it
That's right.
might
You'll
not.
Get some more ingress in there, and it might be
Yeah,
a
but
good
you also
wedge.
need something to purchase on.
Yeah, it's slowly starting to pick it up, eh? Yeah, I can see this gap here slowly getting bigger. Yeah, there you go. Starting to lift now.
There it is.
Oh.
There it is.
Loose.
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
More of that carby stuff.
Yeah, it split right on the carbonaceous there. So, yeah, why don't we? I'm gonna grab a drink. You guys can grab a drink too if you want.
So this
or,
isn't going to survive, so we can just go ahead and gently
yeah, I would
clean
just
that out.
I would just clean that out. Yeah, scrape up that layer and then sweep, and then we'll see where we're at.
Yeah.
See, like now this track here, that's very distinguished, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You can see some of the infilling. I'm just going to leave it for now.
Yeah, right here.
This little bit, this little thing, and this little guy right here. Probably a bunch of this.
Yeah.
But I like that this is here. That means I can come underneath it. Oops.
Yeah, because it looks like this is the next slab to kind of come up, eh? Yeah, because you're cracking right here,
Yeah, okay.
and it's cracking back here as well.
I might have to come in here and get that out of there then.
Yeah, because it's coming up around this knoll.
Yeah.
Yeah, more carbon.
Still got that in there, so I'm happy I'm not hurting
There you go.
the actual track surface. Okay. Just fold that nicely like that. We'll leave it like that.
Is this just from the chisel? That real
Yeah,
smooth stuff?
that's right.
Yeah.
But see, there's more mudstone underneath it, so that's why I was hitting it in that particular spot.
Yeah, then everything else is
Because-
just kind of flaking off.
Yeah. There's that really nice carby layer there that means we can chisel in there without hurting the actual track
You
layer.
guys are getting some shade now.
Yeah, because this is all under this, eh?
That's
Okay.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is getting found?
This track's the one that we got yesterday. Then there's this toe,
Yeah, oh yeah, there's
and then there's that impression there.
It rolls underneath here.
Oh yeah, okay.
And when we took off this rock, which we have over here, you could actually see that it rolled
Interesting.
to fill this in.
Interesting. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. We have more.
Oh yeah, because this is a track
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
And that one, but that's like going in a different direction.
And then these.
Yeah, there's one there.
Lots there in just such a small space.
Yeah, there is. There are parts of that, like on this surface, that are like that too. But that is quite a few right in one spot. Well, this I think is like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like the heel there. And then, yeah, I don't know what is going on there.
Would you expect this to go much further?
No.
Okay.
I bet that's the back of this.
Okay. So this little skim here, that piece, and then this right here,
Well,
that's
I see-
infill as well.
Sorry. I see, yeah, so this, I see a toe there,
Yeah.
a toe there, and a toe there. And then this kind of clunky stuff here,
Yeah.
like that's sort of filling in the track.
Okay.
And so that, the heel is probably like that.
Right. So you generally leave that, or do you chip it out?
Well, we have, I mean, this is like the second time we've done this, basically.
yeah.
So I'd probably chip that out a bit
Okay.
without curving it, if that
Yes,
makes sense. So you can see even when I just poked at it there, it kind of like naturally like separated.
Yeah.
So we found that when we did a little bit of this last year, you can kind of tap it, a lot of it comes out, then you kind of hit a point where you like, feels a little less like confident, and then we usually stop. And you can even see that in a lot of these. You kind of hit a point where then there's still clearly some stuff filling it in, but they obviously didn't want to like start making up the shape. So
Yeah.
usually when it kind of stops releasing along like obvious correct shapes, I like stop touching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, where it's kind of loose and wanting to lift on its own, then we just go do that. And some of it honestly just brushes out. Like if I just take this brush and just kind of aggressively do that, like some of that's just coming off. You see what I mean? Like those little bits. And then if I take like some of that, that'll just, especially as it dries, I find it'll just kind of, there you go. See?
Fix right out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's pretty obviously like the toe.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
And then I wouldn't want to go down more into it, I don't think, really here.
Yes.
Here, this would probably come out, like...
Yep.
Yeah, anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's harder than bones, right? Because with bones, there's an obvious, like, thing. Like, there's the rock, and then there's the bone. There's usually a nice layer of separation. And then, you know, you're removing rock to get to a different object.
Yeah.
But then here you're removing rock from rock, like a hole in the rock, right? And so it's harder. I personally find it like a bit trickier than excavating bones in many ways, because
Yeah.
yeah.
There you go, starting to crack there in a few spots. And it dips straight down real sharp there.
Again. That's very interesting.
Put it on top of footprint here, maybe. Or something. Could be.
Yeah, you don't even have to hit that one, it just pops up. There you go.
It's funny that carbonaceous layer seems to end here. It was just in here.
Well, it seemed like there was a little bit of the carbonaceous right in the area we were just sweeping out, I think.
Huh. Yeah, there's some more of it right there.
Yeah. Might do something.
Yeah, it's starting to dig right down in there, hey?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're picking up that whole slab from about 1.5 inches down.
Down here?
No, down
Oh,
this
on
way,
this
right
area.
here.
Yeah. Oh, I
So
see
it's
what you
going
mean.
down into this.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay, probably. Oh, I think
It's
right
trying.
There it is.
There you go.
Interesting.
So, this one should be literally sitting on footprint here.
Well, look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's the toe.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
Now is that ridges?
I'm seeing what's going on here. So
Yes.
we've got that's a toe coming down here. This is the other toe.
And right here, is that ridges on there?
Yeah. So that would have been where. Again, we think that this might be like wet mud. So where we've got like these skinny lines,
Mm-hmm.
it's possible that the toe sort of sunk in, and then rather forming like a footprint that was the exact shape of the toe, as you pull it out, the sides of the print can sort of collapse in because
Okay.
the mud's still kind of liquid a little bit. And that might be what's happening here. That's why we've got a big. That might be why we've got a big broad toe here and then just a skinny toe here. Is if it stepped in, and then for whatever reason the mud was really wet, and then it just sort of, splattered back in.
So might there have been a toe here?
I
It's
think
just
that-
not reflected
I
anymore.
think there is a toe there. Like I think this is toe.
Well,
like,
my finger can go under this roll.
huh?
So I almost feel like there's a toe there,
Yeah.
but it
Maybe this is also part of the bit that sort of splotched in.
lobbed in.
Because this I think is natural. Like this is what we call the hypex, the space between the toes.
Okay.
Like that looks to me like you've got one toe and then you've got the sort of bend and then you're into the other toe. So that I think is correct. And in fact we might have something similar going on right here maybe. Because I would assume, given that dinosaurs are 3 toes, that there should be a 3rd toe right under this bit here. Yeah,
Whole
let's
piece
lift
will
up.
come out.
Let's lift up this piece. Or maybe it's multiple pieces.
Oh, there's a crack here. So
Yeah. And right underneath there, it should lift up. Oh yeah.
There, bucket go.
that's nice and smooth. Just put that there.
Sure. This one out too much trouble.
Go from this side,
This
I
side,
would
yeah.
say. Yeah, there it goes.
Oh yeah.
Just
Pops
like
right
that.
out.
Very easy.
And
Yep,
looks like a
there's
toe.
another depression.
Yeah, but it goes. Yeah, I'm not sure. They think you can still pry
doggos.
this up and take a look.
So from this angle, it almost looks like
Whoops.
he took a step like this, and his foot kind of slid this way, eh?
Maybe, or after it lifted up, the sides of it collapsed in.
Mm-hmm.
Because that, yeah, I think either one of those is probably equally possible.
This one.
And from here, you can see this toe. It actually goes right underneath there, eh?
Keeps right on going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it is part of something else. There it
There
is.
you go.
Got it. Good work. Here, let me in there. I'll
Yes,
pick it
I
up.
will.
Yeah.
I will let you in there.
Good work, sir.
Anything under it?
Yeah, that toe continued on.
Nothing of note.
No, I think that's the
So I
carbonation
think
layer.
the carbonaceous layer is just filling in the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a well-defined toe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, because that rock was covering up right here. You can
That's
see
right.
the color change.
Huh.
I totally see what you're saying, though, Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's...
It looks
Very
like that.
similar.
It looks like that sauropod print over there with the nails
Yeah.
sticking off the front.
But is it just? Because that's only 2 toes, right?
I know.
Because we don't have a 3rd toe. That looks not wholly dissimilar to this. With 2 big, looking like toes coming off the front,
Yeah.
except smaller.
Okay.
And the question is it a baby sauropod, or is it 2 prints on top of each other?
Or just a theropod.
Well, there
Well,
doesn't
let's take
seem
a
to be a
look.
3rd toe.
Oh, okay, but I mean that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so take a look.
yeah, let's take a look.
So it's this big triangular depression.
Okay.
Because that's the, and you see how it sort of hummocks in there, much like the sauropod prints, except it's got those.
And what might be the remnant in my mind of another claw under here, because you can put your finger under that roll.
Yeah, that'd be very odd.
I know, it's weird, but
I don't think it's all one print,
Okay.
but I'm not entirely sure what's going on.
That's
Because
fair.
like there's also this here.
There's that one random toe that I haven't been able to figure out, or maybe that's not what that is, and maybe that's was a larger print and then got smooshed by the bigger print and closed up. Or sorry, yeah, it was, if it was sort of in the mucky mud and then the big
like,
thing came
part
along
of the
and
reason the
smooshed it
claws
over.
are so long on that one, I think, is because it was very wet and it just kind of like dragged as it came out.
I mean, I think the evidence suggests that it could also be very wet on this layer.
Because this, I think, is like a toe coming, like a footprint coming along like this.
Yeah, we're pretty sure that this is probably like a toe, and then probably a broken
Like going
toe.
off to something.
Yeah, because this is with the broken edge, so. Unless it's a, no, I don't.
And I
think
mean,
it's
I actually
here.
could see this being like toe,
Yeah.
toe, toe. Like
Yeah.
That's, and then it's just gotten kind of like something else has happened here.
I mean, clearly that's another footprint. Of what is hard to say.
Alternately, this is the heel of this footprint, and that's like a gypsognites type thing.
Oh, that's an interesting
See?
idea.
There's like, because that looks kind of like a rounder toe from either an Amblyodactylus or a
Oh.
and maybe that's on a toe, but maybe that's like the heel, and we haven't excavated it all the way.
That would explain why this edge is a little bit less defined.
well, and if you look at this crack,
That goes all the way.
it goes right around.
Yeah, but
Then
Yeah.
this is a what, toe? Is that what that looks like?
Ish.
yeah,
That looks much more
Yeah.
possible.
that's fair. Yeah, and then that's what we were saying, right? Where it's like it's really hard to interpret these sometimes. Where it's
Yeah.
like, is it a feature? Is it a crack? Is it a crack there because it's a feature?
Yeah.
Absolutely, for sure.
That would be my read on it.
And that's why it's so much more useful to uncover trackways, because if you get like a weird print, but then you've got a clear trackway where you're like, okay, well, I can see the line. This is a more normal one, and then you can interpret it.
I like this brush, by the way. I don't know if you can say
That's apparently that is a tool cleaning brush,
Oh.
Yeah, parts cleaning
a
brush.
parts cleaning brush.
I like that shape.
We should maybe consider.
Picture of it.
Yeah, that was a $15 Amazon find.
I always.
I know, but do you want to try it?
Yeah,
Sorry, I just like
Redneck
I
to
like
the
it.
rescue.
Well, that's what I was saying.
It's like a little bristlier.
There's no, there's no,
It's like the shape on it.
there's
Good footprint shape.
there's no tools made for paleo, so we just sort
You
of
can just steal.
figure
from
out. We go into Canadian Tire and we grab what looks right.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Princess Auto.
Or Princess Auto. That's true. It's very good. I thought you'd want to see it because it seemed nifty, but I do agree it's likely two footprints.
I think it's either a Gypsognites or Amblyodactylus going that way.
Yeah. But look at the density, hey? Like that's those, like all of these prints are pointing in a different direction.
Yeah, I mean that is a little bit what it's like over here, where there's a bunch of like intersecting ones, right? Like, see if you look at that, that looks a lot like these ones, right? Like some of these smaller ones, I think.
Yeah, where it's kind of the diamond shape.
Yeah. This is a thought. Okay.
okay.
I'd like to finish mapping that upper corner before we go, because then it'd be nice to be done. Okay, let's motor. Find fossils before you're expecting.
You know?
Yeah, and it's kind of neat too, being able to be a part of the process too, just like removing all the overburden and stuff, and letting you guys chisel everything away and pull it all up.
Paleontology is a long process because, you know, it's like it takes a while to find the stuff, and then it takes a while to dig it up, and then, you know, gathering the data and then bringing it back to the lab and then thinking about it for a while is also a time-consuming process.
Yeah.
And by the time you finish everything, you know, years have gone by and you're like, oh, remember when we started this project like 10 years ago?
Yeah. Right on. All right, well, I'll leave you to this, and then I'll go over to the mapping and stuff and
Sure.
see if I can give them a hand or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even if you just want to see what it's about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I've spent the majority of my day over there helping them expose those tracks. So we're going to come over here and bug these guys now and see what they're doing with the grid and pretty well drawing out a new map. So what are you having to do here? Just pretty well brush them all out?
Yeah,
and
these are ones that were excavated already, and they just get full of like gunk during the winter when we're not here. So there's like pine needles and just like dust and stuff.
A lot of the dirt like falls down.
Yeah,
So-
for sure.
Yeah. So we are just smoothing it out so we can see what is going on, and then we will map it.
Okay.
Not very high tech. So what I did, well, I didn't even do an X. I just used this to square the grid square, if that makes sense. Sorry, Dee. So what I did was, I'll do that right after okay. So basically, I just aligned these lines. So we're just using this to like align the grid square. And then, as long as we don't touch that, that just gives us the straight edge for the grid square. As long as I align this corner right there. I think that's close enough. Yeah. Just because we don't have two or bottom or top X's. Okay, so I am in, I just have to orient myself. I-21. Okay, yes, I got the right one.
The other tracks are, and we found more.
Okay.
See here, there's another 3-code print right here. There's a couple of claw marks over here. There's another one right here. So those are uncovered. Yeah, we literally uncovered these.
So in this here, every square you just kind of draw it in, hey?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same thing when I was doing like art and stuff like that. Like, I drew an owl and you just do the grid.
Yeah. If you
Fill
want,
it
like,
in.
Stand something.
Yeah.
Make it, same thing. Yeah.
So in that, it just gets all put into one giant map that you're able to part together once you're all done?
Yeah, so I take it all back, and then like in the winter, I'll like sit at my computer. These are all scanned in. I'll kind of redraw them in like Illustrator and sort of lock everything together,
okay.
and then it'll make like one big one. And then what I'll probably do is like color code trackways. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I'll be able to then quickly just like change the colors on different species or different individual trackways or things, depending on what we want to show. And then it'll be a lot easier to like visualize like what exactly is going on. Okay, that looks good. That.
Are you guys
Oh no.
in the area?
4 and then.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. It's kind of the edge, so maybe if we can come back to sort of like, I put the heel like there-ish. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there, and I'll kind of like dash it. Dash, dash. And then frankly, there's just kind of a big question mark here. And then can we do the edge?
And then all the blue just means that
Just
you're
means we did
done
it,
and
so that we stop. We can like check.
don't draw the same
Last year
one
we
3
were like,
times.
Did we do this one? We're having to hunt through like hundreds of like pages at this point. So we're like, we're gonna just mark them. So that's all the green dots are ones that we've done.
Oh, okay.
And anywhere where there isn't a green dot, we haven't done yet, which is really helpful.
Mm.
Okay. Hi there.
Alright, so we got a rough idea what they're doing over there with the grid printing and all that stuff. It's pretty straightforward mapping. So I kind of came back over here, and it looks like they're about to expose another print.
A little bit more of that carby stuff in there. It's wavy. Some coal.
Oh, you might want to take a look at this over here, Sheldon.
Oh, okay.
We got more. We flipped this up a few minutes ago. It's another big chunk, and we think it's either one of those big flat seed pods or
yeah.
a piece of petrified wood. You can see the layer of coal in there.
Yep.
Where the plant is actually just like coalified, and so this whole layer, this is an impression in the rock, but that was all coal that just crumbled into a bunch of little tiny bits of coal.
Yeah.
So, like a pretty high grade coal, but it's like very small amount.
Yeah, I found that coal in several different places.
Yeah, so that's just the remnant. It's a coalified bit of wood or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of times when I find my little bits of petrified wood and stuff, you always see that little layer of black
Yeah,
coal.
sometimes there's petrified wood that has bits coalified.
Mhm.
Although I've never really seen that too much outside of the Peace region.
Oh, okay.
I definitely have seen it on both the Alberta and the BC side, so it seems pretty common up here.
Yeah.
But I don't see that in a lot of places where it's petrified and coalified together.
Huh.
It's
Yeah,
neat.
up here it's extremely common.
Yeah. That's the most common way to find wood, I think,
Yeah.
up here. What it looks like. We're trying to get this one out in as few
It's a big
pieces as
blast.
possible, but I'm not sure it's going to work or not.
Yeah.
Is it moving at all?
I don't really see it moving.
I can't.
No, not
The,
really.
the small
Well,
pieces are hopping, but I
there-
don't think that the big pieces.
There's a
moving
little
at
bit
all.
of separation over here.
Yeah, because you can almost
Yeah,
see
so-
it's here, and
Something
here, and
massive,
it
right?
dips
Yeah.
way down there, right?
And I think this one's the same, Dara,
Could
like
be.
you were suggesting.
Alrighty, so we're wrapping up the end of day 2 here at the dig. So here we're Rocky standing. We pulled off all this overburden. We exposed a couple of new prints. This one here might be another new one right there. You see where this stuff here is kind of mud inside this print. So yeah, overall it's been another exciting day out here. It's been pretty cool being able to be a part of this. But unfortunately for me, I got things to do and I gotta go back to work. So that's it for me out here. And yeah, this has been quite the cool little experience out here at the Royal BC Museum, guys. And yeah, hoping them. Well, I didn't really do much for mapping, but we got an idea of how they map. And then we also got to help expose new dinosaur tracks. And also in the first video, we went out and explored my trackway site. So all in all, it's been a great couple of days out here. And if you like this kind of content, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, leave me a comment or two, subscribe to the channel. Catch you on the next one.